Hey guys, today I'm talking about finding tools at home to use for your clay building. So I found some at home myself that I'm gonna show you. The first one is I found tooth floss for cutting clay. That'll work well. Other students have come up with fishing line is pretty great, and if you have any spare thin wire, that would work. But tooth floss is pretty effective. In place of the wood tool and the fettling knife, I thought just a butter knife would be great. So this will cut clay really well, and it also, the end will kind of help you weld. So a butter knife is good. Also, I've got a fork. In some situations, I might use it to score the clay in place of a pin tool. Also to mix things like slip, so it's a big old fork. And then again, in place of the pin tool, I found a wood skewer with a point on the end, pretty nice point. So that would rough up the clay pretty well. So I've grabbed this in place of a pin tool. Again, like other things might be the end of a pencil with a nice point on it, or a paper clip, or a knife. So something to score clay, and this would be in place of the pin tool. And then you want something to build on. So I just got myself like a paint palette that I had. It's like a tray. So like a cookie sheet or a cutting board would work. Something like just finding a piece of plywood in the garage and cutting a little square out of it. Any of those could be used to build on. And again, that would be called like an alternative bat. All right, so today we're also going to make slip so that you have that ready for you next week when we start building. So I have my bag of clay here. And I'm going to have you guys just cut a little piece off with your tooth floss or whatever. Just use it just like that cutting tool. I already have a piece cut off, so I'm going to use this. And I'm going to close up my bag because it's really important to keep your clay from getting dry. So never leave the bag open when you're working. All right, so I have a little jar. I'm using a jar. You can use anything with a lid. I gave you in your bucket a little plastic cup, but if it broke or you can't find it or whatever, just grab something with a lid in your house. So I have, again, my little jar, and I'm gonna start kind of taking little pieces here off, just little pieces like that, and throwing them in the jar, like the size of a pea, little pieces. I'm doing little pieces because the little pieces will help, rather than having one big bunch of it, it'll dissolve better in the water. So I would suggest that you probably fill up your container about half full so you have enough to get going. You can always make more as you go. All right, and then whatever you're at, however full you create this, you can do it as full as you want to do it. I'm going to kind of shake it down when I'm done kind of getting that clay together. And then I'm going to pour water in it. I'm going to pour water in it just above it. So I know that every bit of the clay is getting wet. So it's just covering the clay. And then I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it for like at least 24 hours. And then when I come back to it, the clay will be more wet through, and I'll be able to take a fork and shake it and do whatever I need to do to kind of get it mixed together. The consistency you want to see in this is like a thick milkshake, or at least a milkshake. If it's like yogurt, it needs more water. And if it's like cream, add more clay. Obviously, get it to the right consistency before we start. And then once it's all mixed up and the right consistency, cover it up and leave it covered. And the one last tool I might suggest is if you have an old paintbrush around, like a small paintbrush, it's a great thing to apply the slip with. You can also use your finger, so don't stress if you don't have one. But have your slip ready for next week since we're starting to build. All right, that's it. Thank you.